Hi all, welcome back to the Truth Seekers channel, and today I'm going to talk about Ninmah or Ninhursag or Ninhursaga. In Sumerian mythology, she is known as Ninmah, the daughter of Anu and the half-sister of Enki and Enlil. All three had different mothers. She first had several daughters with Enki, then a son, Ninurta, with Enlil, and then later on two sons with Enki. So she was switching partners. Dumuzi and Nergal or Irrigal. She was the chief medical officer of the Anunnaki mission on Earth, and it was in that capacity that, together with Enki, she would have been responsible for the creation of mankind some 300,000 years ago. This earned her the title of Nin.Ti, meaning Lady Life. She represents Mother Earth, the source of all life. From Ninhursag came the birth of the planets. She is usually seen wearing a leafy crown and holding a branch to indicate fertility. Yes, she is an amazing person. Sumerian mother goddess. It's her. Holding a branch. Now holding a cup or something. Mother of gods and the mother of man. So it was a really important woman figure. I think more important than the man in this Anunnaki history. The Lady of the Mountain. Ninhursag means the Lady of the Mountain. So that's enough. Let's see more of her nicknames. She has like more names. I think she's also called Aruru. Is Babylonian. Her city Irrigal. Nintu, Ninmah, Belet-ili, Hathor, Demeter, Ceres. Also Mami, the wise bird goddess. Mamu, the forerunner of Mom or Mama. So she was the mother goddess created as humans with genetic manipulation and all kind of experimental stuff with tubes and other animals and maybe other humans, Neanderthal humans. Okay, so let's go back into the history. She was the daughter of Anu and Enki. How she came to Earth, because on Nibiru life faces slow extinction as the planet atmosphere erodes. Deposed by Anu, the ruler Alalu escaped in a spaceship. Alalu escaped in a spaceship after losing his fight with Anu, who became the new ruler. And because Alalu couldn't get things done for fixing the atmosphere of the planet they call planet X, or the planet of the crossing. Most time you also saw Nibiru, they call it Nibiru, but I think Nibiru was a spaceship. These guys had a big mother spaceship to come to Earth. So Alalu, he knew that Earth might have had gold. So he stole a spaceship, went to Earth and found gold, and with this he hoped to regain power on Nibiru by saving the planets. But then the news spread that he found gold. It was not enough, so Anu sent Enki to Earth. So Enki went with like 50 Nephilims or Anunnakis to Earth and tried to find more gold. This was also very slow, and the gold was not much. The gold production was faltering, and so Anu went with Enlil, his other son, and Enki was the heir to the throne, but Enlil was the oldest brother. Oh wait, I think Enki was the oldest brother, and Enlil was the heir to the throne. So let's see what's going on. Enlil was the second brother, second of age. He was younger than Enki, but he was the heir to the throne. Let's see. So Enlil, Enki, and Anu are on Earth. Then Anu went back and left Enki and Enlil to get more gold. Enlil wins command of Earth mission. Enki is relegated to Africa. Okay, so what happens then is that Enlil, he had like 300 workers, and he had them work really hard. And these were the Igigis, and they revolted, and Enlil had to kill all of them out. So he wiped out the labor force. This was not a very smart thing to do, but the Igigis were then annihilated. That's my own theory, but most people say they were transferred to spaceships, and they were transferred to Mars, or they got other jobs. I don't think that is the way it went. They just got killed. Okay, so they did not have any more workers. So what Anu decided was to send his daughter Ninhursag to Earth. She was at that moment the chief medical officer, and Ninhursag, she was the bride-to-be for Enki. And what happened, she had already some kids with Enki, as we already heard, but she fell for her brother Enlil. I have a part of that. As a firstborn daughter, even though I had done what I did, I still had the right to stay on Nibiru if I wished to enjoy all the creatures' comfort. Let's see. She was the Atrahasis, and there you see the revolt. Ninmah medical office sent to Earth. Stopping at Mars, she finds Alalu dead. A rock carved to resemble Alalu's face serves as his tomb, the face on Mars. Anzu is given command of the way station on Mars. Anzu was the first commander of Alalu. Yeah, so Ninhursag, the daughter of Anu, she was in love with her brother Enlil, and she got when she was on Nibiru a child also with Enlil. And where is that part that says what she did? Hang on there. She was, yeah, Ninmah. So Ninmah, our mother part. Here's what I did with my brother Enlil. I think it's this part. His half brother, after would lead a successor to the throne. Yeah, father's firstborn son and my half brother. Okay, I espoused to Ea, father's firstborn son and my half brother. Ea, our offspring were to be legal successors to the throne. I had made it. Why did I fall for my brother Enlil? Why did you fall for her brother Enlil? That's a good question. Enlil's dashing and very seductive. his legal heir, firstborn son of Antu, father's half-sister and spouse. So these so-called gods that are actually just aliens and from another planet, astronauts, or what they call ancient astronauts, came to Earth for our gold and to save their own planet from destruction. And these aliens, the Anunnakis, they were like sleeping with their families, brothers, half sisters, and they have, maybe because they have a long lifespan, and in that culture it was maybe natural. Anu granted his firstborn son Enki, then called Ea, son of a concubine. So they were making sons from children from concubine. The right of succession through sons born of me, Ninmah, Anu's eldest daughter. So no more. Not only that I made love with Enlil, but I bore him a son, Ninurta. Father, severely angered, forbade me never to wed. So her father Anu was angry that she bore a son with Enlil. So this Ninhursag was to be wed with Enki, who she had already 2 kids. Then she went with her other brother Enlil, where then she got another child, and that is our mother goddess, who was then sent to Earth because Enlil messed up by killing out all the Igigi slaves that were busy doing the mining and digging of canals and to get gold and to keep the place running. So the only way for rescue, the only person that could rescue them was Ninurta, who was sleeping with both her brothers. So so she got her father Anu, told her go to Earth because she said she could have stayed, but she wanted to please her father. And while on the spaceship to Earth, she got a disc that was downloaded for her on Nibiru from Enki. And Enki said, I have come to peace with what happened between us, between him and Ninurta. I think he was very mad, and she went with his other brother Enlil. I'm happy with my life now. It's what was meant to be. I admit I have not been without my emotional responses, some of which were huge and negative, not to mention reactions and judgments that were less than spiritually evolved. I've been through some very dark times. One night, maybe 2. So he had like 2 dark nights that I would call my dark nights of the soul. But I'm sophisticated enough and old-souled, who's been incarnated many times in many forms and spent enough time in this one to gain a bit of wisdom and insight into the nature of reality. Especially this one that has its fair share of challenges. So he knows he is a soul in many forms, and he's been incarnated. So these Anunnakis are also reincarnated, and he's a soul in a different bodies. And this body he is going to learn, gain insight and wisdom. There are no victims in this passion play, and I've certainly not been one in our dynamics. Things are as they should be, and I don't like shoulds, you know that. So here we are, and now we have this relationship, so be it. Many times I fantasize about our life, how it could have been. I see you by my side as my queen and spouse, partner for life. Our children run at our side, grow up to be fine adults, intelligent, beautiful, excellent leaders, each in their own right. I see us living in true partnership, balanced, equal mates, queen and king, sharing leadership, guiding where each is best suited to lead. As it was long ago in our own history, the story of our civilization, where it was meant to go long ago before our world started to fall apart, the atmosphere leaking into the heavens, our people dying en masse. Distress, strife, distrust, and war. War so evil, so senseless. And here we are, a people who knew our fair share of such things, and now we are on the brink of extinction, payment for our folly. We have much karma to clear. So they also believe in karma. So Enki thinks the destruction of his planet was because they are evil, senseless, and making a mess of things. And that is why I must thus attempt to clear any resentments and misunderstandings that stand between us and what we now must do. I know what's coming. It's inevitable that you will be asked to come here with a group of your finest healers to help me figure this out, to save our home, our world, and now that I am here and better understand a few things, to create and develop this one. So he also sees her as the savior. Ninmah, this place is incredible. Its beauty must be much like Nibiru once was. He's talking about Earth. Long before we evolved as a dominant species and screw everything up so horribly that nature itself and the creator of all align against us to expel us from the planet. So these Anunnaki, our creator, also has a creator. They have a creator of all. Expel us from the planet like parasite, like pests that must be destroyed and destroy their hosts. So they see themselves as parasites, pests that must be destroyed or destroyed their hosts. Their host is the planet Nibiru. They're like parasite to their planet. We must wake up, become conscious, and do things better. We suffer our karma, yet we are growing up, becoming wise. And as long as I breathe, I dedicate my life, my very existence to my people. And to you, dearest, dear sister. So concluded Enki's communication. So this communication, this message to Ninhursag from Enki had a great impact on Ninhursag. She was, oh wow, this guy is great. I will go back to my beloved Enki. So she came to Earth with her spaceship and landed on Earth with 50 nurses. She came with 50 others, and it would have looked something like this. It's from the movie, I think Prometheus or Aliens. So these nurses, they land on Earth. And Ninhursag was welcomed by Enlil. Enlil took her to his place, I think in Lebanon or somewhere like that, and he showed her his house, and he tried to seduce her again to make another child. He says, let's make another child, and I'll bring our son to Earth and we'll reunite with each other. But he failed to make another child with her, and Enlil of Ninhursag got away, and Enlil did not like this. So, but yeah, Enki and Ninhursag were again joined with each other, and they start making humans. They're experimenting to make the right slave to do the gold mining. So Enlil said he'd bring their son Ninurta to Earth. The commander promised her center in Sumer for her doctors. He bragged of his plans to lay out expedition settlements in lines across Iraq that would show incoming rockets where to land. Yeah, then Enlil flew Ninmah to his place in Lebanon. Perfect, he said. And he made some euphoric elixir. This guy was really mean. He's trying to drug her with some elixir. Okay, so these Enki and Enlil start experimenting, or Enki and Ninhursag. At the time, one of great, the creator of all senior gods, Enki lay on his bed, not waking up from his sleep. The word Nama, Enki rose up from his bed. He set a feast for his mother, Nama. Enki and Ninmah drank beer. Enki answered him, I will counterbalance whatever fate, good or bad, you happen to decide. So he led the decision up to a Ninmah, or Ninhursag. Ninmah took clay from the top of the Abzu in her hand, and she fashioned from it first a man who could not bend his outstretched weak hands. Enki looked at the man who could not bend his outstretched weak hands and decreed his fate. He appointed him as a servant of the king. Second, she fashioned one who turned back the light, a man with constantly open eyes. Enki looked at one of who turned back the light, the man with constantly open eyes, and decrees his fate, allotting to it to the musical arts, making him as the chief in the king's presence. Third, she fashioned one with both feet broken, one with paralyzed feet. Fourth, she fashioned one who could not hold back his urine. Well, that was not a good specimen of a human. He could not hold back his urine, one with broken feet. Fifth, a woman who could not give birth. Then she came one with, hermaphrodite. Hand the ground, the great Lord Enki said, Ninmah, I have decreed the fates of the creatures and give them the daily bread. Come, now I will fashion somebody for you, and you must decree the fate of the newborn one. Enki devised a shape with head. For your creatures I have decreed a fate. I have given them their daily bread. Now you should have decreed a fate. Okay, I decreed a fate for the first man with the weak hands. I gave him bread. Okay, Ninmah's answer. Look, you do not dwell. Well, this was like the creation story. Some strange creation. They were making humans in concubines and with genetic manipulation. So this is what I wanted to say about Ninhursag, Ninmah. That's the story of her. If you have anything to add or comment on this, please let me know. And yeah, you can see that she fertilized. But like any hybrid, the Earthling could not procreate on this own. To obtain more primitive works, ape-woman eggs were extracted, fertilized, and reimplanted in the wombs of the bird goddess. 14 at a time, 7 to be born males, 7 females. As the Earthlings began to take over mining world in mining work. Test tube babies. So she held up for all to see the first Homo sapiens, the Earth's first ever test tube baby. So you can see this part, she is very important. Ninhursag, the chief medical officer, was to assist him. There was much trial and error until the right procedure was perfected. Extracting the egg from the ape woman, Ea and Ninhursag fertilized it with the sperm of a young astronaut. Then they re-implanted the fertilized egg not in the womb of the ape woman, but in the womb of a female astronaut. Finally, the perfect model was achieved, and Ninhursag shouted with joy, "I have created, my hands have made it." She is the creator of us human. She is the real God. So God is actually a woman. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Subscribe to the channel.